My brain's splitting off in so many different directions. My brain's splitting off in so many different. My brain's splitting off in so many different directions that no one has the answers to. My dad was a shrink. Certain things upset me. And my dad was a shrink. Certain things upset me. And my dad was a shrink. Certain things upset me. What's the furthest star, and then what's beyond the furthest star? What's the furthest star, and then what's beyond the furthest star? What's the furthest star, and then what's beyond the furthest star? Questions that no one has the answers to.
Hello and welcome to Everything to Guppy, the podcast where we talk about every single item, every single enemy, every single everything in The Binding of Isaac. I'm William Hughes, and I'm joined, as always, by a guy who does whatever a Gary can. Gary Butterfield. That was a Spider-Man joke. I don't know if that came across, Gary. Because Spider-Man's on the cover of this issue. God, let me take a second take on that. Hello and welcome to Everything to Guppy, the podcast where we talk about every single item, every single everything. Shit, I fucked it up. God damn it.
And this is Days of Future Cast. I'm Jeremy. That's Gary. Thank you, Will, for giving us 4 great jokes. We appreciate that.
Yeah. Welcome to Offboarding Week.
Welcome to Offboarding Week. There's some people that recommend this as like a legitimate X-Men podcast that I have probably alienated with those 4 jokes. So I apologize.
It's okay. Like eventually it's going to affect the entire network where we get fewer new listeners, but the ones we do like us more. Yeah,
we're creating the Marvel Cinematic Universe where all we need to make our audience happy is just one crossover. That's it. That's it.
the DCU, not that one. Duckfeed Podomatic Universe. We're with Back from the Dead Part 2, the absolute mess of an arc that editorial got cold feet about and stopped us from being able to read a cool story where Princess Di joins the X-Men.
Yeah. Instead, we have Henrietta Hunter, a ambiguous, nice person who is also a mutant, being attacked by the Eurotrash, a team of superheroes that were secretly given to the Europa administration by Spike Freeman, the head of the X-Statix team, to kidnap and kill her once again so that he could have movie rights to X-Statix versus Eurotrash. Also, Spider-Man is here and incredibly underused. Like, I've never seen... Like, if you're going to put Spider-Man in the comic, like, have him say a quip. Like, just one joke.
I really think that they were probably going to do something with this. Imagine how Spider-Man would react if this was Princess Di.
I mean, he wouldn't be able to help himself. He'd go nuts.
It would be a very different emotional moment for Peter. As is, though, it's real weird. It's just like the pop star known as Princess, they call her. Who is a famous philanthropist and, rich person. It just doesn't work as well. It doesn't make any sense for these characters to be doing what they're doing.
Yeah. The cover is pretty basic. We have like a wall of TVs, I guess, behind Spider-Man and Guy who are kind of floating in the air. And the TVs are all showing an image of Henrietta in the back, like just looking at the camera. And we start out somewhere. I don't know where this is supposed to be, but there's this kid who is saying how much he would like to be a mutant, how much he would like to be Guy Smith or even Tyke or even Miles Alfred, even though he's my least favorite X-Statix member. And he is walking through a literal minefield and sees his uncle who has stepped on a mine and does not have no legs anymore as he steps on a mine, as he's talking about like, hey, maybe I could get, my face on a t-shirt. Maybe like something will happen to me and I will develop mutant powers. And he steps on a mine and he blows up.
Yeah. And we cut to the fight, like a big splash page of X-Statix versus the Eurotrash, which is pretty fun. Mm-hmm. Fun fight. Good little scene. I really like how Mike Allred draws Spider-Man.
Okay.
He goes for this like very classic, like the blue really pops.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a very bright blue. It looks very much like the cartoon.
There's something about this where, like, when I see him in this kind of format, I expect the webbings under the armpits, and I don't know why. Like, there's something in my brain that was like hardwired to think like that kind of poppy blue, like it's got to have the armpit webs, and he just doesn't. So
what he used to have in that costume.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's just like I'm just missing it, I guess. I don't know. It's the first time in my life I was like, man, I wish that dude had armpit webs.
Man, I wish that guy had a web pit.
God damn. What's more likely, having an armpit web fetish or having being a necrophiliac? Like, what's the more common weird thing to be into.
That's a good, like, more people know about necrophiliacs, but
yeah,
I feel like the other one's probably more common because I just really feel like necrophiliacs have to be pretty rare.
I feel like there's like a really hidden subforum on Something Awful for like armpit webheads. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Which is definitely
like
what they call themselves.
Like always, put in a password secret. Emojis are in there and shit. So we get to this fight where Guy Smith decides, rescues Henrietta here.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. Like, keep her head down, for God's sake, stop waving at the cameras. Like, as everything's being destroyed around them.
And like throughout this, she's saying like, you're big celebrities. You could use your fame and your fortune to do more for people. And they're like, just shut up. Like, just stop talking.
We're fighting. This is what we do. This is how we play. Which I like a lot. Just saying like, and she's just like, again, being a debutante. Like, I must say, I think it's really fabulous the way people can keep such a riveting conversation while fighting for your lives. Which would be a good time for Spider-Man to make a quip.
Yeah.
He tries to, he dives in, but Fat knocks him down, butt out Web Boy, and takes him out.
He gets a "what a nice young man" from Henrietta, which I think is funny. Spider-Man is like, no, it doesn't matter whose gig it is. Like, I'm not gonna just leave when there's help to be. Like, if I can help the situation, I'm not just gonna leave because you guys are here.
We're superheroes, idiot.
Yeah, this is where
this is what we do.
This is where Surrender Monkey decides like it's the perfect time to quit, because of course he does.
That's a superpower.
Yeah,
is knowing the perfect time.
That's a dumb joke that is applied to French people, but actually I think is a really good joke. Like, if it just didn't apply to French people, like if it wasn't a French monkey specifically, like if it was just a monkey that wanted to quit something all the time, I think that would be a much better joke. I don't like. Are you with me? Like, I feel like it's a good joke.
Yeah. There's the last issue of Mr. Show has the way it does the framing thing is the character who comes up and goes, tells somebody when they're done. In like a TV show, so they go up to like say Jay Leno's getting ready to go on his monologue or whatever. And the guy comes up and goes, 1 minute, Mr. Leno. And it's that guy going into all these different situations that are not that. So like somebody's like, having sex with somebody in a hotel room and he goes, and finish. And then he leaves with his clipboard and he's just going around the world making sure everything ends on time. And that's what this reminds me of.
That's very funny.
Yeah. So they leave, they take her, Henrietta, they abscond with her and take her into the mega store to kind of hole up.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically like, what do we do? Where are they? What happens? We have to go in there and get her. And again, they basically do the superhero thing where they're just like, no, let's not do it. We could barge in there and make fools out of ourselves, but let's just go home. Like Fat says, I say we go chill in front of the TV until one of us has a better idea. And Venus goes, sounds like a plan.
And just teleports them all away.
It's like an action pose. It's very funny.
I love Guy saying like, we have to go in and get her. And Tyke saying, we have to do no such thing. It's just very funny.
We hate this person. And again, while I'm giving this book, this arc, some sympathy, it is, Guy has always struggled on whether X-Statix are actually heroes.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense for him to be susceptible to Henrietta's message. And if she has the power of empathy, that could be why she was using that, saying that to him. Like, you guys could be more,
Meanwhile, inside of the X-Statix megastore, Henrietta is kind of using her intelligence to con this second-rate mutant team to be on her side, saying like, you guys are just going to put a brick through my head. Like, you have no class, no ambition. Like, you could literally like, she's basically trying to get them to like set this whole thing up so that they can pretend to kill her, but actually get a lot of fame and basically become X-Statix, as opposed to the second-rate team that doesn't have a merch store, right?
Yeah, you can be the mutants who killed the most beautiful woman, cum saint, and they spell cum cum with that.
Yeah,
woman cum saint.
That would be like, that's how you would say it if you were like, that's proper to do that.
Is it? Okay, I didn't know that was cum was the appropriate thing for that. But she's holding up an action figure of herself and Guy Smith, being like, you guys could do that, or you could be like this and have toys made of yourself and, hit the big leagues.
Yep. And they do it. They decide to demand a $10 million ransom. And a worldwide fund for Save Saint Henrietta comes up. So, like, it's interesting that they're making her into kind of a bad guy in this, but again, like knowing the Diana stuff makes a lot more sense for me, but reading this cold, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like,
no, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's really difficult to tease that out.
Kind of funny to have, Diana have like, this ransom fund, 10%, which will go to her favorite charities, in this life and death situation.
10%. So good.
It's pretty good. But it makes less sense with this character. The reporter is saying like, oh, X-Statix has disappeared. It must be some cunning tactical move. And we cut to them all in loungewear watching TV.
Fucking great, dude.
I love how much X-Statix watches TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want more X-Men just like hanging out, just watching Sentinels do stuff.
I feel like we got some of that in one of the X-Men, like I can't remember which run it was, where they were literally watching Cyclops on TV like do something. I'm trying to remember which comic it was. Doesn't matter. But yeah, this is when Guy Smith like starts making like, oh well, actually, like she is one of us and we need to save her because that's maybe we actually could be more than this. Like all of the stuff that Henrietta has been saying to him is actually kind of starting to work on him a little bit.
Yeah. We cut over to Freeman talking to the old British dudes. And the British dudes have leverage over him. Like, if she's not dead in 24 hours, all those documents I told you about your chemical shipments to a certain dictator will reach the press. And he says, yeah, we agreed she'll be killed, but we want to stretch out and build things up. We got Vin Diesel signed on to be in the movie, which is good casting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he starts, saying like, Henry, and, don't worry about X-Statix. They're not going to save her. They couldn't even if they wanted to. They're fat and complacent, lost their killer touch. And while this is happening, Dupe is recording it.
Yep. And everybody is super pissed at Spike when after Dupe plays this back for the team. And basically they're like, we're going to kill you. Like, Dead Girl can like fuck with you for a little while. She can make you feel pain. And then we're going to literally kill you. Then instead what actually happens is they decide to rescue Henrietta to prove that they're not
on the condition.
Go ahead.
The proof they still got it on the condition, Tyke says we're doing it. We're not messing around. We're not showboating. We go in hard, no prisoners. We just take them out.
Yep.
And while they're doing this, El Guapo ties up Spike Freeman, and Spike Freeman starts like tempting him, like, hey, if she doesn't die, I'll die. So if you don't kill her, that's basically killing me. And it would be a big favor. Fatal accidents happen all the time in X-Statix. Tyke won't be the leader forever. I'm counting on you. Kind of tempting El Guapo. We cut to them teleporting into the mega store, and instead of like doing a fight like they usually do, they just kill everybody immediately.
Murder the entire fucking team. This is so hilarious to me that they could just do this at any time. Good. Yeah.
This gotten Himmel. He's like, the wall's being torn apart, and Henrietta is just like, what are you doing, you awful man? Like, this is too violent. This is real.
The tree girl being like, I'm on fire.
Yeah. Just absolutely take them out right away. So she just says, they just kill the Eurotrash people basically, until Blind Ali is about to stab her, and she's saying, I don't know how to kill a zombie. And this is a good joke. I like El Guapo has a little devil on his shoulder repeating the dialogue. The devil has a little Spike Freeman hat on, and is telling him, like, showing him like, consider it. Fatal accidents happen in the heat of battle all the time, especially with X-Statix, tempting him to kill Henrietta. But the better angels of his nature, take over, and he cuts off Blind Ali's head with his skateboard.
The literal Spike Freeman devil is very funny. Like, that's so good.
Yeah, the Spike Freeman devil is a good joke.
Also cutting the head off it with a skateboard. Extremely cool joke. I think that's really good.
Yipes. Gleaming the cube. Gleaming the round.
Yep.
They're doing another press conference here. And, there's this great, like, Tyke, Entertainment Weekly. What do you say to those who claim that your brutal attack on the mutant hostage takers denied them their civil liberties? He's like, too bad. Next question. There's also another, again, very funny line where there's a question for Henrietta from Horse and Hound magazine. What are your plans now? And she says she'd like to work within the structure of X-Statix to continue work raising money for awareness for AIDS, landmines, and eating disorders. It's just a random 3 things is very funny to me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then her sinister face And she's like, I'm going to do something about the passe costumes they wear. And she's got that villain grin. And then the next panel is closing up on it. Talking about how she knows somebody who designs costumes for Elton John.
And that makes my dear friend Elton, like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I assumed it was Elton John because of the fantastic outfits or whatever, but still never made the connection with Princess Diana because, oh my God, I feel like an idiot on this.
Yeah. No, you don't feel like an idiot. They didn't tell you. And it's confusing. Like there would be, if this was Princess Di, it would make sense.
Yeah.
But this is like a crossword puzzle or something. And or like a Sudoku where you're missing the keystone, the keystone letters, or numbers. There's no letter Sudoku. There's 26.
So I've been doing crossword puzzles a lot lately as kind of a distraction. You need to do something when you watch the amount of Star Wars that I watch. So you have to engage the brain in some way.
Absolutely. Shit's boring.
But the other day in the very center of the puzzle, there was a number, which I had never seen before. And like the vertical one was like something about water, so it was H2O, and the horizontal one was something about like the last big like technology scare, which was Y2K. So like it wasn't anywhere else in the puzzle or anything, but I sent a screenshot to Autumn. I'm like, I am so angry about this. Like, this is not the way that crossword puzzles work. How did you because I looked at it and like H blank O, and the clue was something about like, we need it to survive. And I'm like, well, is it HOO? Like, that wouldn't make sense. Like, what do you
owls to survive? We eat owls down here, so
I was extremely angry about this whole situation. So yeah,
it does feel like there should be somebody you should be able to call.
Yeah, like that dude that makes those, like Will
John Crossword.
Will, I can't remember the guy's name, but like Will something is the famous crossword puzzle guy.
Yeah.
And like I feel like I should call that dude and like, did you allow this on your fucking territory? This is the New York Times crossword puzzle.
Yeah, this means war.
This is fucking ridiculous.
We cut over to the old British guy who has a heart attack seeing this. Wants to release the documents against Spike Freeman. We cut back to Henrietta talking to the kid, Jesus, who was the kid in the first page who got blown up by landmines. And she's just doing a press thing. Like, he says, he would like to be a mutant and grow up and be like Guy Smith or Tyke Alligar and join the X-Statix. And she's like, we can arrange a temporary or an honorary membership and then get you to America for the best possible medical attention. And
awful. The
team is watching this, surrounded by fan mail, with Spike Freeman still tied up. And just being like, this fucking sucks. This isn't what we want.
Yeah, like people actually love her and she's doing real good, and like she's getting way more fan mail than you. Like, and also she wants to redesign your outfits, which there's a shot of that, and oof, what is happening?
Yeah, that the big Elvis jacket with the X is very funny to me.
Extremely hilarious. I'd love to see like Elvis as a mutant at some point in the world. Like, make that happen, Grant Morrison. Good. You probably got other shit you're doing, but yeah.
So he basically said, Spike's like, that's not all. It's, not only is she going to redesign your costumes and do all this stuff, she's going to be the new leader. The common people love her, but shareholders and marketing people love her as well. She's the new leader as soon as she gets back, and the team just flips out. And like, basically it seems like there's nothing else we can do. She must die.
Yeah.
So the team is going to assassinate her for being more famous than they are.
And a great team shot of like a great reaction shot where they're all looking directly after Spike says that. And like you just see the skateboard in the background floating. Like just the small skateboard physical comedy of this really makes me happy.
Yeah. Also present.
Yeah, exactly.
The skateboard. And we are going to immediately, in the beginning of the next episode, shift into a kind of side plot that happens alongside this stuff.
Fucking wild.
It's real weird.
Okay.
I think these were the two that they had written with this as Princess Di. And I think that was the point in which they had to restart it and kind of rewrite it. So the next two issues are a little bit more cohesive, but it's still the kind of thing where it's like write an ending to a sentence. It's still exquisite corpsed kind of together.
Yeah. Interesting.
So,
I have not read those. I haven't read those yet. I just read these 4 today. So I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of a mashup or mishmash that is going to be.
And that's the end of this issue. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for hanging in there, everybody, for Everything to Guppy week on Days of Future Cast.
Yep. And we'll look forward to next week when it's Heartbreak City week.
Oh,
Heartbeat City week.
Bringing back the old Heartbeat City. Okay, I can do it.
Yeah, obscure. It's pilot season week. Just obscure polls. Thank you, Will, as well. Will doesn't listen to this show.
Definitely not.
Will doesn't like comics.
You think he will? For
you
this,
think he will?
Yeah, for like just specifically for this to see how we reacted to his thing. Like he seems like the kind of guy that would do a little vanity searching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Good thing you won't listen to the end of them. Though.
We can say whatever the fuck we want to. Take that.
No, well, you're a good friend.
Your first prompt is goodbye.
Yeah. Well, here's a suggestion. Fuck off, improv boy. I'm just kidding.
Just kidding, Will.
Just kidding. Patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. Not kidding about that. That's serious as a heart attack. Ratings, reviews, and telling your friends. Also very serious.
Yes. Do all of those things. We really, really appreciate it. We'll be back in a couple of days with more X-Statix.
Mm-hmm.
What's the furthest star, and then what's beyond the furthest star? What's the furthest star, and then what's beyond the furthest star? What's the furthest star, and then what's beyond the furthest star? Questions that no one has the answers to.